All right, so we're going to start the practice today on the floor. So bringing yourselves to a comfortable seated posture using any support you might need underneath your sit bones. If you need to use a blanket, a bolster, a pillow, just anything that you need, just go ahead and bring it underneath for support to bring your spine into a nice, comfortable length. And then make any adjustments that you need to so that you can really allow your body to become comfortable in this space so that we can stay here for the next few minutes. Starting to now bring your awareness to your breath. And without changing anything about it, just go ahead and start to follow the breath. The moment we bring the awareness to our breath, we have automatically started to change the breath pattern. So try not to force the breath at all. But notice the quality of your breath. Notice the depth of your breath. Try to notice the volume of air that you feel moving in and out. Notice where you feel the air as it comes down toward the base of the lungs and moves out. You might find that your breath ends up right at the top of your throat, the middle of your throat, or down toward the base of your lungs. Again, we aren't changing anything yet, just observing. Two more breaths. And now do allow your breath to deepen a little bit. So all you're doing is allowing the same volume of air to come settle toward the base of your lungs. So as you follow your breath in through the nostrils, back through the throat, down toward the base of the lungs, start to now notice the expansion of the rib cage. And then as you start your exhale, start to notice the softening of the navel toward your spine. As you continue this observation, notice if it allows your breath pattern to change. Three more breaths. Soft breath in through the nostrils, past the throat, down toward the base of the lungs. Nice exhale, soft and long, releasing the navel toward the spine. And then after the next full breath moves through, go ahead and slowly, open your eyes, looking first down to the floor and then lifting your gaze. Welcome. Namaste. Good. We're going to get into some form of movement. So if you need to shake out your legs, go ahead and do so. Extend your legs, shake them out. And then slowly and gently bring yourself onto your knees. And as you do so, Use any support you need underneath your knees. So if you have a blanket that you would like to put under your knees so you do not feel the floor pressing into the bones, go ahead and do so. And then bring your hands fairly close to your knees with the palms down on the floor, spreading the fingers wide. Inhale fully, and then just shift some of the body's weight onto your hands. Your shoulders will probably reach forward off your wrists. And then as you exhale, go ahead and slowly press the hips back. And then do that one more time, slowly rocking the weight of the body forward toward your fingertips and then pressing it back. So you'll start to feel some of the weight of your body on your fingertips and on your wrists. Now, if you have any kind of severe pain, you do not want to go there. If there is any kind of tightness in your wrists, this should help you release a little bit of that tightness. But if it feels uncomfortable, don't go there. Good, one last time. And then this time as you come forward, pause over here for a very brief second. And then gently release curl the toes if they are not curled. Curl the toes back and then release the hips toward your heels as you lift the torso up. Good, and then shake out your wrists. Good, and then we're going to do the same exact move on the wrist. This time though, we're going to press the fingers in toward the knees. So bring the base of your wrist forward. That's right. And then slowly, once again, shift the weight of the body forward and then back, still with your toes curled, allowing the hips to reach toward your heels as much or as little as they can go. And you might feel a nice awakening on the front of your wrists and the forearm. Rock forward as you inhale and then slowly back as you exhale. Good, we'll do this move 2 more times. Nice, slow, gentle movement, awakening the wrist joint. Not straining it, but definitely feeling it slowly warming up. This next time your hips come back toward your heels, go ahead and pause. Pause just briefly, and then slowly come back up and lift the hands up off the floor, and once again, shake them out. Good. And then we're going to go ahead and go on to all fours. So as you come to the all fours, make sure that your fingers are spread wide, your knees are underneath your hips, and your shoulders are on top of your wrists. Good. And then slowly and gently curl the toes under, press the toes into the floor, and then press the hips back just about a quarter of the way back, and then rock forward, shifting the weight slightly forward so the shoulders move just past your wrists. And then back again, pressing the hips back toward the heels. Beautiful. And then once again, all the way forward, leaning slightly the weight of the body into your wrist. But there is still equal weight on your toes. Pressing back the hips. Once again, it's just a quarter of the way and then forward. Good. This time, go a little bit further back. So if you're comfortable with that, let it go slightly lower than you did the first time with the hips releasing toward the heels. Maybe halfway, maybe slightly more than halfway. And then continue that nice, gentle movement, rocking forward and back. Moving with the breath, inhaling forward, and then exhaling, navel still gently engaged as you firm the belly muscles, pressing the hips back. One last time, and this time as you start to move back, uncurl the top of the feet and then press the hips comfortably back, as far back as they can go without having to strain over here. And then allow your elbows to come down. If you have a block and would like to use it, bring the block in front of you so that you can rest your forehead upon it. It can go at any height that feels right for you. And just relax. Your heels do not have to touch the hips, but you do want to allow a softening over here of the arms and the wrists. You're even welcome if you would like to turn your palms up so that you can release any strain you might have felt on your wrists. One more breath here. Good. And then next inhale, turn the palms down. If you were using a block, go ahead and move the block aside. Come back as you inhale to all fours. This time, curl the right toes under, lift the right knee up off the floor, and then start to press the heel away from you. And as you do so, you're lifting the weight of the body up off the floor so your shoulders are still aligned on top of your wrists. If you would like to use for the next move the wall, or a chair, whichever feels right for you, I have a wall behind me. I'm going to gently press my foot into the wall and then allow my leg to really press into the wall so that I have the ability to create length in the spine. Readjust if you have to your posture just a little bit so that you still have the shoulders on top of the wrist and the knees underneath the hip. Good, and from here, if it feels right with the support of the back leg, go ahead and reach the opposite hand straight out in front of you. Now, once again, over here, you have the option to use any support you need. You can use a chair if you would like. So there's full support of the legs over here. Let's see if I can readjust here. Very good, very beautiful. And then I can reach my hand out on the chair. This gives me a nice ability to create the length in the spine and still feel the support. Support of my hands, support of my legs. One more breath. And then slowly release the hand, bend the knee, inhale right here. And as you exhale, allow the hips to move back, chin to the collarbone, crown toward the floor as you release the chest to the thighs. Come back into that posture where you can release your hands up so that you allow for the wrists to soften. Once again, if you'd like to use the blocks, go ahead and bring the block in the middle, resting your forehead upon it, giving your body a chance to relax. Two more breaths. Soft, long inhale. And an equally long, effortless exhale. And then gently turn the palms down. As you inhale, come back up to all fours, moving the block aside. This time we're going to go to the other side. So once you feel the weight of the body equal between palms and knees, go ahead and curl the other leg, knee lifting up. So left knee comes up off the floor. And then press the left foot back as you inhale and lift the foot off the floor. If you use the wall on the other side, go ahead and press the knees, extending the leg all the way back into the wall. When you feel that support over here, go ahead and extend the other hand, the opposite hand, straight out in front of you. Beautiful. I'm using support on both sides right now. I have a chair in front of me so that I can rest my hand on it, getting that extension for my arm. I'm using the wall behind me so that I can get that full extension of the leg, keeping it completely active and giving me the opportunity to keep that lift of the torso up off the floor. We'll stay here another 2 breaths. Weight is equal between the palm and the knee and the shins that are on the floor. And in the extension, there is a nice feel of the reach from the tip of your middle finger to the back heel. There is no collapse of the body into the floor. You're lifting it up off the floor. And then as you exhale, bring the hand all the way down, bend the knee, and then slowly move back again to child's posture, releasing the elbows down to the floor, turning the palms up, using the block again if you need to relax in this space as you allow the hips to move toward your heels. We'll stay here for about 3 full breaths. Let your body move with the breath. It's a soft lift of the torso as the breath comes in, excuse me, and a nice softening as the breath moves out. After the next exhale, go ahead once again, turn the palms down. Inhale, come up to all fours. Extend this time the right leg again back behind you, lifting the knee up off the floor. Good, and then we're going to go ahead and move over here into a nice gentle reach of the opposite arm. So as you inhale, shift the weight over to the left arm and left shin and reach the right arm out and up. Release your back heel down. So it's almost like a side plank, and then come back down, lifting the heel, releasing the hand. And we'll do that 2 more times. As you inhale, release the back heel down to the floor. That's your extended leg. And then lift the right arm out and up. It's the same arm and the leg that are coming into that lift and the extension. Beautiful. And one more time. We're going to go into the space. This time we'll pause over here. Make any adjustments that you need to. You feel free to use that back leg if you would like at the wall. You can press that heel into the wall. Shoulder on the front leg is on top of your wrist. The top arm is reaching up. Feel that nice length. If you want to go into a deeper extension, go ahead and reach the top arm all the way straight out in front of you. Good. Next inhale, bring the hand up. As you exhale, go ahead and bring the hand down. Bend the knee and come back. We'll move back to child's posture. Good. Notice how much work you have put into that left wrist right now. Allow for the body to soften. Allow that wrist to relax. Notice your breath. One more full breath here. And then next inhale once again. Press the palms into the floor. Come back up to all fours. Extend this time the left knee up off the floor and the left toes press into the floor as the heel presses away. When you're ready, press the weight over to the right side and then release the left heel down, lift the left arm out and up to the ceiling. Good. Exhale and release. One more time. Inhale and up. Exhale, release the hand, lift the heels. And one more time, flowing over here, lifting the arm out and up, pressing that heel to the floor so you have support of that back leg, floating one more time the arm down. And this time as you lift up, we're going to pause. If you have any kind of wrist issues, you always have the option to come down to your elbow. Reach the top arm out and up. Press the shin to the floor. Press, if you would like, your heel of the bottom leg, the extended leg, onto the wall if you are using the wall. Keep that front shoulder on top of your wrist and then allow the body to feel light. You have support on the floor, but you have extra lift with your breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, go ahead on the exhale. Unwind the torso, bring the hand down, bend the knee, and press back one more time to the child's posture. Notice how you activated your wrists and your arms. We'll give them a little bit of a break as we move through the next few moments. But for now, just take 2 full breaths to relax over here. You can have your arms, palms up, or if you prefer this time, you can even bring your hands beside you to take away any strain you might have created in your shoulders and your neck as you relax your wrists. Two more breaths. Softening. Letting go of tightness. And then next inhale. As we get ready to come up, if you're using a block, go ahead and leave the block where it is. I'm going to move it aside because I prefer not to use it, but leave the block because we will use the forehead down. This time, as you inhale, bring both hands out and come lifting up on your knees, lifting the arms up overhead. As you exhale, go ahead and bring the left hand down and back to your sacrum, but reach the right arm straight out in front of you. Forehead comes upon the block. As you inhale, reach the right fingers forward. Bring the left hand to the side and all the way back up overhead. And then as you exhale, we'll change sides. This time, bring the right hand back to your sacrum as you start to fold and hinge from the hips, reaching the left fingers forward. And then inhale, bring the right hand to the side, reach the left fingers forward till you come upright. Both arms are all the way up overhead. Good. We're going to do that 2 more times, once on each side. As you start and exhale, navel hugs the spine. Reach the right fingers forward, left hand comes to the sacrum. As you inhale, both hands come back toward the ceiling. Left arm comes through the side and lifts all the way up overhead. Good, and then we'll repeat that 1 more time, bringing left hand forward and right hand at your sacrum as you gently, on the exhale, allow the torso to come forward, chest to your thighs, and then inhale, bring the right arm out to the side, reaching both fingers up toward the ceiling. This time, both hands will come to your sacrum as you complete this posture and come down to child's posture. Hands can come to your sacrum, or if you prefer, they can come down, release forehead down to the floor or toward the floor, and relax. Relax over here for 2 full breaths. Could use any support you need. If you would like to use the block at the highest height, that is fine. You can use, if you would like, a block between your feet so that you can have the hips come settle upon the block as well. But allow the body to completely relax. Good, and then next inhale. Go ahead and move the block aside. Bring the hands in front of you so we can come up to all fours again. Shoulders on top of the wrist. Curl this time the toes under, and we'll go for our very first down dog. So as you curl the toes under, press your fingertips and your toes into the floor. Lift the knees and then exhale and press the chest back to your thigh, lengthening through that front body. So you feel that length in the side muscles of the torso. But your breath is unaffected. You still have the ability to bring a full breath in and a full breath out. You can have your heels moving toward the floor, or you can even have your heels lifted as far up off the floor as you need to. The focus right now is twofold: your breath, which is effortless, and the length in your torso. Inhale, rock forward, coming to all fours, and then press back as you uncurl the top of the feet, back to child's posture. We'll make this our flow, flowing with the breath. So make any adjustments you need to with your stance, moving the hands away or closer from the knees. Inhale, come up to all fours. Curl the toes under. As you exhale, keep the knees bent. Press the chest back toward your thighs. Chin toward your collarbone. Tailbone floats upwards. Pause over here just for a brief moment. And then when you're ready, inhale, come back to all fours. Releasing knees down, uncurl the top of the feet, and then press back to child's posture. We'll move through this 1 more time with your breath at your pace, coming up to all fours as you inhale, curling the toes under, pressing the chest back. This time we're going to pause over here for 2 full breaths. Navel hugs your spine. And now on the 3rd inhale, go ahead and bend your left knee and then press that heel up toward the ceiling, getting a full extension on that left side. Pause over here for 1 more full breath here. Then bend the leg back down
And we'll do the same on the other side. Bend the right knee. And then slowly let the heel lead the way as you press the heel out and up toward the ceiling. Notice how your breath wants to change its pattern. Bending the knee, come back down. Allow the breath to be smooth and effortless. And then next, inhale, rock forward. Uncurl the top of the feet and press back. Bringing the elbows down, turning the palms up so that any strain you created in your wrists can be released. Good, you can shake them out if you would like to. You can even press the excuse me, the wrist and the fingers on the floor. You can bring both hands back in, down beside your body if you would like. It's looking good. Good, one more full breath. And then inhale back to all fours. Curling the toes under, press up and back to down dog. Keep again as much bend as you need in your knees so that you still have that length in the spine. This time we're going to allow one hand to move. So really use the shifting of the weight over to the legs and the opposite arm. Bring now your right hand to the outside of your thigh, your shin, or to your ankle, but keep the torso pressing back toward the thigh. Good, breathe one more full breath here, and then release the hand. Press back, one full breath, full down dog. And then we'll go to the other side. Release the left hand, either at the top of the thigh, mid-shin, or to your ankles, whichever feels right, without shifting the weight of the body from one side to the other. And then slowly bring, once again, both hands down. Press chest back to the thighs, pause for one breath, and then rock forward as you inhale and press back, hips toward your heels. Release the hands. Good, that's a lot of good work on your wrists and your shoulders. So take the time to allow the body to become comfortable here. Take about 3 full breaths. Softening any spaces that are talking loud to you. And some spaces do. But as soon as you bring awareness into those spaces, you might be able to let them soften. Let go of the tightness. Let go of any strain you created in those joints. Good, and then slowly and gently come to lift the torso back all the way upright. Now, if you're unable to sit on your heels, it's okay to come up on your knees. But if you're able to sit back on your heels, just take a moment to sit back on your heels and just pause. Good. And then from here, we are going to come up, if you're on the heels, onto the toes. And then one leg at a time, we're going to bring the leg forward. So as you bring the right foot forward, again, use any support that you need. You can have the blocks in front of you if you would like. I have a chair which I love to use oftentimes. So I'm going to bring the chair a little closer to use that. And then we're going to move from here into and out of a slightly deeper lunge. So as you inhale right here, lift the torso, heart moves forward. As you exhale, go ahead and straighten the front leg, but keep the torso moving forward. So if you're using the blocks, your hands will stay on the blocks, torso will come to rest upon your thighs. And then as you inhale, come up again. Lift the sternum. Press the heart forward. Good. Now my toes are curled on the back leg right now, but you have a choice. If you would like, you can have the toes uncurled. I find that sometimes that provides a little bit more support, but it depends on you and your body. Sometimes it gives you a nice little crampy sensation, and if that's the case, curled toes are good. This time, as you come into the forward fold, take a moment to pause. Bring, if you would like, your blocks closer to your hips and see if that gives you the ability to allow the torso to soften just a little further forward. Even though we have both legs down, there's a slight element of balance in here. You might find that you're making that micro adjustment all the time over here. Inhale, come back to the lunge, and then bring the front foot back. Good, take a moment to pause over here, standing on your knees. And then we'll go to the other side as you inhale. Bring this time the left foot forward. Good, and again, you can use a chair or a bed if you have it close to you, or the blocks if that's what's the easiest for you. And then go ahead, inhale right here, and then as you exhale, start to press that hip back. Extending the front leg at the knee, and then inhale, pull forward the heart all the way forward as the knee comes lunging toward the front ankle. Lovely, we'll do that 2 more times. Go with your breath at your pace. This time, as you come into the extension of the leg, pressing the hips back toward your heels, go ahead, if you're using the blocks, bring the blocks all the way back, closer to your hips. See if it allows you the ability to soften your torso a little further forward. If you're not using the blocks, you're even welcome to use your hands. Just bring the hands closer to the hips so that you have the ability to soften the torso down. One more breath here. Notice how your body is trying to make adjustments so that your weight stays centered. And then as you inhale, go ahead and bring the front knee forward. Lift the torso and then slowly bring that front leg back. Beautiful. Take a moment to pause over here. Good. For the next move, we are going to go ahead and move into modified pigeon posture. So use again any support that you would like. So bring the right foot forward. And then from here, as you bring your hands down, you can use the blocks if you'd like. Bring your hands down and then release that front foot back so that your knee comes pressing forward. That's your front knee. Toes are pressing back. So if I were to show that through the front up this way, the front knee goes back. Good, and that leg is straight back behind me. Good, and then use the blocks as much as you need, or as whichever height that you need. Pause over here. You can have the back toes curled or uncurled, depending on how much of a stretch feels right for your body. Good, and then from here, slowly, again, without shifting the weight over to that front hip, keeping the weight centered so both legs are working, go ahead and slowly come slightly forward. So the front knee is bent so that the heel goes back. Good, and then allow the body to come into this space. Comfortably allowing the torso to come forward. Good, this is a nice movement for the hips. So just take the time to let the body slowly and gently settle in this space. All right, so breathing one more breath in the space that you're in. Go ahead and slowly bring the hands closer to your knees or your hips so you can bring yourselves a little bit further up high. And then from here, go ahead and bring that front foot forward. Use the blocks. and then come up to the highest height. Good, bring that foot back, knees align. Good, and let's see if we can do it slightly differently this time going forward. Instead of coming into the lunge, let's just slide that front leg. I'm moving my block aside so you can see it. Just slide that front leg forward so that your knee comes all the way forward. Good, and then you can curl the back toes and walk those back toes slightly further back. Good. Then you start to use the block so that you can keep the torso supported and yet lifted. So you'll feel that stretch on the back leg, at the front of the back leg. Once you feel that your back knee is as far back as it can comfortably go, you are welcome, if you'd like, to uncurl the top of the foot. Beautiful. And then once you have one more full breath moving through, go ahead and bring yourselves down. Slowly and gently, bringing the elbows down to the floor, coming into that release. Again, you can use a block at the back hip at whichever height that you need to so that you feel that support of that hip on the block. You do want to keep the weight of the body as centered as you comfortably can. And we'll stay here for 3 full breaths. As low as it feels right for your body to stay in here. With any support that you would like, your elbows can come out to the side, forehead toward the floor, or if it feels right for you to do so, you can bring the block in front of you and then reach the hands straight out in front of you as well. Good, and then on the next inhale, if you have the block underneath your hip, go ahead and take the block out. Bring your palms down in line with your hips or in your knees. Curl the back toes, lift up, bring that front knee forward. Come to lift all the way up into that lunge position. Good. This time, bring the back knee up off the floor and then bring the back leg to the front, full forward fold. Good. It's our first posture up off the floor for the practice today. Notice how different it feels to move into that forward fold with all the movements that we've made our body go through on the floor. When you're ready, inhale. Keep a slight engagement of the lower abdominal muscles and then keeping the length in the torso, go ahead and reach the fingers forward and lift the torso to come all the way upright. Bring the palms together in prayer to your heart center as you exhale. Good morning. Good. We're going to go straight from here into a nice gentle side extension of the body. So bring your feet apart about 2.5 feet, maybe 3 if it feels right for you. Good. And then bring the right hand palm facing forward in line with your shoulder. We're going to get extension on the right side. So as you inhale, go ahead and let the left fingers reach down as you reach the right arm over to the left, feeling that extension. As you exhale, lift the torso back up, bending the elbow to the starting posture. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale and reach, as much or as little as your body feels comfortable. Exhale and soften. This time, as you inhale and reach, allow the breath to sort of continue for a count. And then exhale and release. 2 counts this time. So you're not holding the breath, but you're allowing the breath to just continue to fill and move toward the base of your lungs. And then exhale and release. This 3rd time we go into this reach, or the 3 count hold that we're going to get into it, we're going to allow the heel to lift up off the floor. So you're not turning the toes, you're just lifting the heel, pausing over here for about 3 counts till you let the breath come in. When you finish the 3 counts, inhale again, reach the fingers, and then as you start the exhale, keep the heel reaching down, but stay in that extension. Good, and then inhale again, and then as you exhale, come back upright, release the hand. Good, notice the difference on one side versus the other. Notice the warmth you've created. Notice the movement you've created in your shoulder, even more than we did on the floor. And we'll go to the other side, same process. So bringing now your left palm forward. Good, as you get ready, inhale and reach fingers all the way up, over to the left, right fingers reach down. As you exhale, come back. Good, 2 more times. Starting to get a little bit of an extension of your breath. There is no holding of the breath, but as you allow the breath to fill, and then for that 1 count, as you stay and pause over here this time, allow that breath to still continue to fall toward the base of the lungs. And then exhale, come back upright. Good, this time we'll pause for 2 counts. Again, you're not holding the breath, you're just allowing the breath to fall a little lower toward the base of the lungs. And then come back. Pausing for 3 counts this time, lifting the heel on the opposite side as you pause over here. When you finish the 3 counts, first release the heel. Inhale and feel that extension from the tip of the middle finger all the way down to the left heel. Good. And then as you start an exhale, come back upright. Release the hand. Good. Bring the feet back together. And take a moment. Bring both your fingers together, tips of your fingers touching, almost like you're holding a little ball of light in between your palms. And then release that the palms right at your navel. Closing your eyes as you follow the breath, feel the touching of the tips of the fingers to each other. Feel that sense of connection. Left and the right side. Feeling an equal amount of awakening and awareness. Giving you the ability to come and center yourself toward your midline. Notice the support of your legs. Notice the depth of your breath. Notice the calmness of your mind. One more breath. And then slowly open your eyes, release the hands. And we'll go to our first balance posture for the standing moves. So we're going to step the right foot forward, turning the left toes ever so slightly. And then we're going to just give a nice gentle flow over here. So as you inhale, you're going to reach front knee forward like you would for warrior 1. And the left hand is going to come all the way up overhead. As you exhale, your left hand is going to come down. You're going to start to lift the heel up off the right foot, off the back leg as you straighten the right leg and reach the hands in the opposite direction. Good. And then slowly, as you start the opposite move, once again, inhale and reach. Front knee stays on top of the ankle, left hands go up, and we'll exhale, slowly move in the opposite direction. We have already established a pattern for our breath, so we're going to work that to our advantage. Even though we have both feet on the floor with the back toes still touching the floor, you're working at straightening the front leg and therefore shifting of the weight into the front leg. Good. This next time we come into the exhale and straightening of the front leg, allow your back toes to float off the floor as much or as little as it feels right, straightening the front leg And then continue to reach the back toes, extending them away from you. And then as you come back again, slow, gentle release. It's a nice controlled move. Requires not just focus, but a lot of strength in that front leg. There is a nice engagement of the navel as it hugs your spine. So you have the firming of the lower abdominal muscles that give you that control as well. Good, one last time. Pause for as much or as little as it feels right for you. Notice how you have activated that front leg. Notice also as you come into this posture, as you exhale this time, release the hands. Good, and then notice your breath. Bring the feet back together, close your eyes, notice your pulse. Notice how one side feels different than the other. Take one more full breath here. And then we'll go to the other side, stepping the left foot forward, turning the right toes slightly out. Good, we'll start with a nice gentle movement of the knee lunging into the front foot. So as you inhale, reach right arm out and up, left knee comes forward. As you exhale, you're gonna change the arms, lift the back heel, shift the weight forward, straightening the front leg as much or as little as you can. And then as you start your inhale, bend the front knee, release the back heel. Good. 2 more times, moving with your breath, slow, deliberate movement. Breath guiding this movement, so there is no strain whatsoever. There is a little bit of activation of the front leg. Definitely the use of both sides of the brain, helping our nervous system calm down. This time we're going to come into the space, lifting the back toes as much or as little as you're able to. And then slowly, with control, release the back knee, back toes as you bend the front knee. One more time. Inhaling, bending the knee, reaching the right arm out and up. Back heel is down to the floor. And then this time, come and pause. Pause for as long or as little as it feels right for you. Feel the adjustment that is going on in your front leg. Feel the effortlessness that you have in this reach. And then when your body says it's ready to come down, bring the back leg down, bend the front knee. And this time as you exhale, straighten the front leg, bring the feet back together. Good. Once again, bring this time the palms together, soft cupping of the arm palms, even as you reach the tips of your fingers, the base of your wrist, and even your thumbs to touch each other. So it's almost like a prayer pose, but more like a bud with the potential right deep within. Holding on to that warmth that you've created, the calmness that you feel, knowing that you are capable of a whole lot more than you give yourself credit for. Two more breaths, still feeling the tip of your fingers as they touch each other. Feeling the warmth in that space. And still feeling the body centered toward the midline. And then slowly and gently, as you open your eyes, release your hands. We will come down to the floor this time. So as you come to the floor, just come to lay flat on your backs. Bending your knees. Bringing the heels comfortably close toward your spine. Relax the spine down to the floor. Allow your hands to move slightly away from the body, softening any spaces that are held tight. Following your breath. When you feel ready, go ahead and bring first the right and then the left leg, both legs back in, close toward your chest, allowing the spine to flatten even further. Then release your hands down, slightly away from the body. Inhale fully at the center, and as you exhale, keep the knees and the toes. It could be either or, depending on your body and what it is able to do. But keep them together, and then on the exhale, allow the knees to fall over to the right, only to a point where you feel that opposite shoulder wants to lift up off the floor. Stop at that point. Inhale, come right back up to the center. We'll repeat that process on the other side. Exhale, allow the knees to move over to the left, only to the point where you feel that opposite shoulder wants to come lifting up off the floor. At that point, inhale, come right back up to the center. We'll do that 2 more times. Go with your breath at your pace. Only to the point where you feel that opposite shoulder wants to come lifting up off the floor, or you might find that your knees want to move away from the chest. So your knees are still bent closer to your chest. If you would like, you can now start to turn your head in the opposite direction of the knee. One more time on each side after you finish this movement. Slow, gentle movement. It's deliberate because we are controlling that exhale as the navel moves toward the spine. There is no strain whatsoever in the body. Activation does not equate strain. So let the knees this time fall all the way over to the right. Doesn't matter if your shoulder on the opposite side wants to come lifting up off the floor. Let that shoulder come lift up. As it does, allow your hand to come lower toward the bottom edge of your mat. Keep the knees bent. If it feels right to turn the head, go ahead and turn the head over. Pause over here for another 2 full breaths. Navel hugs your spine on the exhale, feeling that top lung fill to capacity as you inhale. Next inhale. So keeping the knees and or the toes together, come back to the center. And then as you exhale, allow the knees to fall all the way over to the left side. Again, if your opposite shoulder wants to lift up, no worries. Let the knees come settling down first. Then gently release that back arm, the right this time, toward the floor or toward the bottom edge of the floor. Turn your head slowly if it feels right for your body to do so. You can even leave your nose up, pressing up toward the ceiling or turned up toward the ceiling. Or if it feels right, turn the chin over to the back shoulder. Again, use that soft engagement of the navel toward your spine. Feel the top lung filling to capacity as you inhale. And then the next inhale, bring both knees and toes back to the center. Bring this time your hands on your shins or behind the knees
and give yourself a nice gentle hug. Moving to find a relaxation, go ahead with the hands on your knees. Gently rotate the knees out. Movement comes from the hip joint, spreading the legs wide and out away from you, and then back into the center. Good, and then changing the rotation, moving the knees away from you, opening wide, and then in, back to the chest. When you feel like you have allowed the spine to soften back down to the floor, go ahead, give yourself one more hug, and then release the feet down to the floor. Extending slowly the legs to the bottom edge of your mat. Moving them slightly wider than the hips, letting the toes fall away from the midline toward the floor. And then relax your shoulders, releasing the hands slightly away from the body as well. Whatever feels right, you can have your palms down or up. Keep a slight length in the back of the neck. If you'd like, you can use your hands to get that nice length in the back of the neck, releasing chin to the collarbone. And now allow your breath once again to become your focus. Letting your exhale extend a little bit more than your inhale. So as you keep your exhale longer than your inhale, make sure that you're not forcing that out breath. Because we are on the floor with the support of the gravity, allow that navel to slowly soften toward the spine to settle toward the floor as you exhale. As you inhale, you might find your back body wanting to press, especially the back of your rib cage, the middle spine will press a little closer to the floor. You might find your rib cage expanding and lifting up toward the ceiling. But keep that exhale longer than your inhale. Another 3-4 breaths, just allowing the body to gently soften into the space. Making sure that your facial features are also relaxing and softening toward the floor. Unfurling the forehead and the eyebrows. Keeping the jaw unlocked, either with the tip of your tongue touching your palate, or if it feels right, allowing the tongue to fall toward the root of the mouth or the back of your throat. As the body continues to soften and relax. And the breath finds its own gentle rhythm. Notice how you have allowed your mind to find calmness. The thought processes have become slow. The thoughts few and far in between. If you do become aware of the thought, or any sensations within the body. Any feelings, gently release all of them at the moment of awareness. Continuing to follow the breath and its soft rhythm. Nice gentle expansion on the inhale. And a softening on the exhale. And now on the next breath coming in, allowing it to deepen. Becoming aware of your surroundings. Any of the sounds that you hear around you, including my voice. The feel of the air upon your body. The smells of the space you're in. And slowly, as you allow your body to start making gentle moves, wiggling of fingers and your toes. And then as you feel ready, go ahead and turn over to your side, bringing first the knees bent, heels close to the hips. Pausing in this space. And then as you feel ready, go ahead and press your palm into the floor. Slide the top leg, using that arm to gently bring yourself upright. On the next inhale, go ahead and bring your palms together in prayer to the heart center. Take a nice full breath here. And then as you exhale, gently bow the head. Pausing to honor yourself, the practice you undertook. And then slowly, when you feel ready, you can open your eyes and lift your gaze. Thank you. Namaste.